Begin. Namaste. Thank you for joining. And my name is Izumi. And today our theme is a core strengths. So why I did a core strengths is that, so when we open a space, we go like that, then we want to have a core strengths to protect our lower back or the pelvis area. So that's also related to the steady foundation. So steady foundation of grounding is really important for this season, autumn. So many changes happens. So when we have a change or challenging time, you are in a change, it is always good to have the ground. Then good to have the ground and good to have our strength to hold on our body and aligned. So it's not only the body, but the align and the steadiness and strength in our mind too. So mind, body connect. So when we strengthen the body, that's also related to the mind. So let's start. So sitting down, but if you are not comfortable, sit this way, you can do your own way. So you can sit on a block or cushion or maybe chair. Let's settle into this body. Roll your shoulder a few times and rotate your arms out, palm face up. Chin mudra, index finger, thumb tips together. So when you rotate your arm and palm face up, and notice how your inner arm opens and the chest opens, right? The collarbone lengthen. Then those kind of a movement create a little bit of arch on the back. Then we want to have a strength, using the abdominal strength to tuck the navel in and close your rib cage. So we can keep the length to the lower back. And let's begin to notice the breath coming in through the nose and going out through the nose. Inhale, lengthening the spine. And exhale, grounding. Sits bone down to the mat. And continue to breathe this way with awareness of each inhalation opening the space. Then each exhalation grounding and soften. So it's a little bit of contrast. So each exhalation, you can let your body weight sink into the floor. So you are let your gravity taking your body. And then each inhalation against the gravity and lengthening the spine. And come in the breath. And notice your body breathing. So your body is breathing. Each inhalation, maybe feeling the space, opening the space more. And each exhalation coming to the ground, also towards the center line. And keep breathing and keep noticing your body sensation on each breath. So you are in a fall time. So I was talking about it's a season of change. So change is sometimes we have a hard time accepting the change. The change happens to our body. That's also related to the aging. So everything changes, nothing stays the same. When we pass the years, of course, we are aging. So from the birth to the death, so between that time, we are alive. We are alive. We live this life. Always change is happening. And sometimes it's a quite, dramatic change. And sometimes it's a subtle change. Sometimes it's easy to accept that change and sometimes it's not. But we are practicing to welcome the change. So practicing of letting go, not holding on to the past, but welcoming what's happening right now. We don't know the future, but we face to the present moment. Sometimes it's not easy as I talk, but that's what our life is. We are keep practicing over and over and letting go and accept and struggle. And then the things changing. And we are changing as well. And our loved one changes as well. So how many times can we let go of the things in our life? And actually, every day we let go something many times, which is our breath, exhalation. We take our oxygen and we let go the carbon dioxide, which we don't need anymore. So air provide us whatever we need a purpose, and we take that nutrient, and whatever is left or waste, we let go. We also digest the food and we let go. Sometimes that's not easy too, right? So I think during the fall time, it's noticing those things, letting go, and open to the change. We practice or we bring more awareness to that. So today, let's pay attention to our breath, how we breathe, and your body breathing. Then we focus on the exhalation. Maybe you can exaggerate the exhalation a little bit more to let go. Then we are strengthening our core of our being. All right, let's together, hands reach to the sky. And then exhale, bring your palms together to heart center. And you may bow your head to set your intention, dedication, prayer. And slowly open your eyes. Okay, let's come onto the back and have a block and belt close by. Then lie down. And let's stretch the arms over the head and point your toes. And then reach your right hand away. So right hand reach and push your right heel. And then opposite way. So push your left heel and left hand. Go longer. And then do a few more rounds like this. So notice how your pelvis is doing. So you are kind of moving the pelvis up and down, like hiking the pelvis. And notice if any stretch or discomfort or comfort. And then slowly come back to center and plant your feet down to the mat. Okay, let's bring the right knee to the chest. So you can interlace your fingers and bring your right knee to the chest. Make sure to relax your shoulder. Then gradually moving your left leg to the back. So maybe stretch your leg or maybe it doesn't go that way. And if your left leg goes straight down and feel the openness to the front of the leg. All right, and then bring your knee together, legs together. Then catch your left knee, then right foot come down to the mat. Then hug your knee, left knee to the chest and feel the compression to the belly. Okay, now gradually moving your right foot towards the back of the mat, straight your right leg maybe, or maybe not. And feel the openness to the front of your left leg, sorry, right leg. Okay. Then bring your right foot down, left foot down to the mat. And get the block, please. The block between your thighs. Then squeeze the block. So notice what happens when you squeeze the block and other parts of the muscle. So having a block is to engage the muscle between your thigh, inside of the thigh, which is adductor. So aligning the knees and a hip distance apart. So we are using the outer leg muscle too. Then tuck your navel towards the spine, press your lower back down to the mat. Then find the pelvic floor, then squeeze. Then when you squeeze the pelvic floor, your buttock muscle works too. Okay, hands by your side. Inhale, lift your hips gradually up. Then the hands goes over the head and open the chest. And then exhale, gradually lower down. So if your feet is away from the buttock, maybe it's hard to lift up. So bring your heels close to the buttock as much as you can bring. Inhale, squeeze the block, engage the pelvic floor, engage the buttock. Then tuck your navel towards the spine using your arm. Then lift your hands over the head. So also using the erector muscle, which is along the spine. Then on your exhalation, slowly lower down. So let's continue this way a few more rounds. So when your lower back comes down to the mat, you can relax those muscles. Then when you lift again, engage the muscle and lift. Squeeze the block, tuck your navel in, and lift. And then exhale, slowly lower. And one more round. Very good. And then gradually with control and coming down. Wonderful. Let go the block. Then bring your knee to the side to side. So we are twisting the lower back and then relaxing the belly. Relax your ab, relax your buttock. Maybe feels a little bit of massage the buttock on the mat. Okay. And then come back to center and interlace your fingers behind your head and open your elbows wide. All right. And lift your both knees up. Then bring your right elbow, left knee touch, or maybe close to. Then straight your right leg, lower down. and inhale, come to center. And then I exhale the other way. So opposite the elbow and knee touch, or maybe closer. Then lowering the leg, maybe. And don't hold the breath. So maybe exhale to twist, and then exhale. So it's a forceful exhalation. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Hug your knee to the chest and gently roll side to side. Relax your lower back. Okay, then let's bring your feet down to the mat. So what we're gonna do next one is a little bit complicated, or it's maybe, hopefully I can explain well. So interlace your fingers behind your head and elbow open to the side. So now we're gonna observe how the movement of pelvis, tilting the pelvis back and forth. So let's, feet together, then open your knees wide. Inhale, lift your chin up, then open the chest. So there's a little bit of curve on your back. Then on your exhalation, bring your elbows point up to the ceiling and knees a little bit closer, rounding the back. That makes sense? All right. Inhale, elbow open, knees wide, and lift your chin up. Maybe the sternum, the lift chest up. So we are tilting the pelvis forward. Then on your exhalation, tilting the pelvis back. Knees, elbow up, rounding the back. Chin tuck towards your sternum. Then inhale, open, wide. So let's go on a few more rounds. So imagine it's like creating the arch at the back, then the round in the back. So there's a movement on your spine. So we are just lifting up, not twisting. One more. And back to center and hug your knees. Then drop your knee to the right side. So first bring your knee towards the chest, then open your arms wide and knee to the right side. And look to your left. So pelvis can move that way, tilting pelvis forward and back. So when we have a standing pose or any yoga pose or just everyday life standing walking pose, you want to have the pelvis steady. So the core strength helps to align your pelvis. Or let's do the knees to the left side and the twist other way and look to your right side. I mentioned probably quite often, but so muscle, the core muscle, it helps to stabilize our spine and also pelvis. So if pelvis is easy to move around, spine does also swings a lot. So that's not very steady alignment. So that's why we strengthen the core to stabilize the pelvis, then stabilize the spine. So that's, we can have a good alignment of our body. So those create, if it's a misaligned, it creates the lower back issues and the hip issues and knee issues and ankle issues too. So let's come back to center. Then one more time, plant your feet down. And this time we do not have a block, but let's imagine that we have a block and knees hip distance apart. Inhale, lift your hips up. Then this time, bring your hands behind you, interlace your fingers and roll your shoulders under. And press your arms down to the mat. And then just let's stay here and lengthening the back of the neck. And notice if you are arching your back. So navel in. See your body nicely. So you can see your body, not the belly is sticking out or, align with the pelvis. Navel in. Lengthening the lower back, strong lower back. One more breath. And inhale, lift your heels up, hands reach over the head. Then on your exhalation, slowly coming down to the mat. All right. So let's drop your knee to the side. So either side. Then bring yourself up to the seat. And now we come onto the knees. So when we have a knee down, if you are not comfortable, knee directly onto the mat, you can use the towel. And palms under the shoulders, knees under the hip. Okay, inhale. So we're gonna do same again, cat and cow. So what we are doing is tilting the pelvis back and forth. Inhale, looking up. And exhale, down in the back. Inhale, open the front of the body. And exhale, open back of the body. One more each. And exhale, round. And come to center. So come to center is a neutral. The pelvis is a neutral, not arching your back or not rounding the back. Then straight your right leg back, please, and ball of the right foot down and push your right heel back and down. So you get a nice stretch to the calf. Okay, again, we are paying attention how we hold in the pelvis using the core strength and tucking the navel in. That's easy to do. And lengthening the lower back. Then same awareness, lift your right leg up. So when you lift your right legs up, it's tendency, the common tendency is dropping the belly down. So we try not to do so. So you don't need to lift too much, but keep the belly in. Then left hand forward. So another challenge, stretch, inhale. And on your exhalation, round your back knee to the elbow. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, knee to the elbow. One more time, inhale. Exhale, knee to the elbow. And release. Okay, let's come to child pose. Pull your hips back. Sitting down towards your heels. And spread your arms forward. And let's make a fist. So maybe palm face up, make a fist squeeze. Then on your exhalation, let go the tension. And a few more times, your own pace. And each exhalation, let go. It's not only letting go of the fist, but the whole body parts. Okay, then let's come up, tabletop again. And this time, straight your left leg back. And ball of the left foot come down and push your heel back and down, stretching the calf, hamstring, back of the knees. Try not to drop your head down, but keep the nice alignment of the spine from the tailbone, sacrum to the top of your head. And remember to engage the core, tucking the navel in. All right. And then lift your left leg up, not too high to keep the pelvis. And keep the pelvis not tilting forward. So not dropping the belly. Then right hand forward to balance. Inhale. And then exhale, bring your knee to the elbow, lounge your back. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, knee to the elbow. One more time, inhale. And exhale. And release. And palms down, knees down, and sitting down towards your heel, child pose. And let's this time bring your hands by your side. Maybe palm face up. Then make a fist again, squeeze. Then on your exhalation, let go. And one more time. And release. Let's move your arms forward and stretch. Then palms down. Lift your hips to downward facing dog. Hips high. And bend your knees right and left. Then we're gonna take time to come forward, but each step, very small step to walk towards your hand. And then eventually come forward and then forward, grab your elbows, and then swing side to side. Soften your knees. Relax your head. Maybe bend your knees to rest your belly onto your thigh. So that's quite a steady pose. So every pose that I suggest may not work for you. So you can adjust what best for you to do. Probably you know better than me. Okay, soften your knees. Let go your hands. With your inhalation, let's lower ourselves to stand. Okay. Then feet hip distance apart. So let's see. My camera needs to be back a little bit. Okay, so feet is a steady, grounding. So if you want to have a more stability, you want to have a little bit wider. Now we're gonna soften your knees to wrap your hands, swinging the hands to wrap the hands around your body. So each time we are tapping our body. So the hands come behind you, it's somewhere here is a kidney. So there's a rib cage, but the lower to the rib cage, there's a right and left kidney. So we are tapping there. And also we are tapping the belly, lower belly, which is the large intestine. Okay. Then soften your shoulders and relax your arms. Then let's do with the breath. So we do exhale, exhale, force free. It's called Kapalabhati. Take a big inhale. Then exhale, start. If you can do with the nose, lips are closed, and exhale through the nose. 5, 4, 3, 2. Gradually back into center and let's stand and observe and feel the ground. Okay, so let's bring your fingers to your shoulders. Inhale, move your elbow forward, up, then exhale back and down, and few more round like this. So each inhalation, move your elbow up, and then exhale, elbow back and down. Then let's change. Inhale, elbow back and up. Exhale, forward and down. Let's do a few more rounds. Continue. So we are opening the capacity around the shoulders. So a little back. Okay. And then let's come to center. Okay, so I suggest maybe face to the long side of the mat. We're gonna bring the feet apart. So how far you're gonna bring is up to you, but maybe, you know, it's usually ideally that your palm, then feet is under, but that if it's that too wide, you can bring it short. But point your toes to the long side of the mat and heel hands to the side. Then on your exhalation, bring your hands behind you, interlace your fingers. Inhale, pull your hands back and chest open. Okay. Then on your exhalation, bend your knee, please. Then slowly, we're gonna lower the chest forward. Just halfway. Inhale, rise up and come to center. So if your knee is not comfortable doing this, we can do the feet a little bit shorter. Okay. So adjust accordingly. So we're gonna do a few more rounds. So while we are going to do this, notice your core. Okay. Let's inhale, ground your feet and chest open. On your exhalation, we hinge forward. So tuck your navel towards the spine, find the pelvic floor. We're gonna come just halfway. Inhale, rise up. Okay. So when we rise up, we really press the feet and strong core, strong leg. One more time. Inhale, lift your chest up and open the chest. And on your exhalation, bend your knees, then chest forward and bend forward. Maybe you can come all the way down, or maybe not. Or maybe you can release your hands and hands on the block or hands on the floor. You can just choose what you like to do. Let's do one more breath. All right. So let's pay attention how we're gonna come up. So strong feet, then tuck your navel in. Okay, so engage the pelvic floor, buttock, then your thigh muscle and rise up. All right, very well. So if you shorten your leg, the stance, then feet apart, then point your right toe forward. So this is my right leg. So I'm not mirroring you, but yeah, your right leg. We're gonna come to warrior two. Right knee, right toe goes same direction and spread your arms. So your arm is over your leg, then shoulder over the hip. Then notice how you can ground your back foot, which is the left. Then gaze through your right fingertip forward. Tuck your navel in. So notice your mid of the body. So somewhere around your pelvis. So how can we make that area steady? So first try is tucking the navel in and lengthen the lower back and notice the pelvic floor and find the glute working. There's so many muscles involved. Okay, inhale, rise up. Then bring your right foot again, pointing to the long side of the mat. Then the other way, point your left toe out. Then hands to the side. Warrior two. Make sure your left toe, left knee goes same direction. And feel the openness to your inner leg. You know, inner thigh muscle working to support. And shoulder over the hip. And then how can you make this pose steady? Navel in. So tuck the tailbone in. Steady pose. Inhale. And then exhale, release the hands on your hip. Then again, left foot pointing forward. Then gradually moving the feet inch by inch to bring it closer. Okay, so now feet hip distance apart. Inhale, reach your hands to the sky and grab your elbows. Inhale, lift your elbows up. And notice how your lower back is doing. So when you reach your hands up, then we are opening a space at the chest, but that can collapse your lower back. So maybe your hands a little bit forward, front of the face, but make the lower back long. Tuck your navel in. Grounding the feet. If this is available to you, lift your elbows up, even keeping the lower back nice and long and tucking the belly in. All right. Inhale, one more up. On your exhalation, bend your knees and drop your elbows and swing your arms up and down. And just relax your shoulders and arms. Okay, so let's do one more time. So very carefully observe how your pelvis changes when you reach your hands up. Inhale, reach your hands to the sky. So tucking the tailbone in and lengthening the front of the belly and lower back. And then grab the elbows. Inhale, lift your elbows up. Lengthening, especially lower back. Then on your exhalation, bend your knees, drop your elbows, and swing your arms side to side. Okay. And then release the hand. So next one is a balancing pose. So you are welcome to use the wall or furniture to steady yourself. Then otherwise, bring your feet together and let's stand. So let's bring the hands on your hip, so side of the hip. So intention here is to steady your hips. So we want to come to tree, but when we do tree pose, you know how it is that the lifting the one leg up. That's create the lifting the one side of the pelvis up and the other side of the pelvis down. And yeah. So just notice how you can still equalize or balance your pelvis. So you are totally welcome on the what called part of the pelvis on the wall. Okay, let's do. So shift your weight to your right foot. So this is my right foot. So I will do my side. Then slowly pick up your left knee, but your toe is still touching to the floor. Then gradually opening your left knee out. So I hope you are still, your waistline is still horizontal. Okay. So maybe from here is a challenge as you move your left foot up. So just notice how you can control that. Maybe left foot come just to stay in a cup. Or maybe a little bit up. But try not to place the foot in the knee. And keep the pelvis nice and steady. So tucking the navel in, find the pelvic floor and squeeze the buttock. Maybe knees, it's easier to do more forward, ladder outside. So just notice how. Then maybe bring your palms together to heart center, or maybe reach your hands to the sky. So we are controlling. One more breath. All right, exhale, let go, release. Let's shake the legs and hands. All right, we're gonna do the other side. Then again, welcome to use the support. Actually, if you have a buttock can come onto the wall, that's actually really helps to steady your pelvis. So more body part touching means, you know, the wall touching is just you can keep it as steady as in the center of the room. Okay, so ground your left foot down, then pick up your right knee. So your right toe still on the ground, then keep your hands on your pelvis so you can keep checking on the tilt on the pelvis. You are keep paying attention to the pelvis to steady. So maybe rotate your knees out, but if that changes angle that you don't want to have too much open. Or maybe lifting the foot towards the calf, or gradually lifting higher. But keep engaging the navel and pelvic floor, the buttock, then your thigh muscle. Maybe foot come inside of your thigh, but doesn't need to be. And maybe palm together to heart center. And just notice how the weight shifts to one side on one leg. And one more breath. Okay, and then slowly exhale, release. So let's shake it. Okay. So I noticed this really creates the pain onto the knees or ankle. So when you are pushing your weight to the too much side and your leg is, your knees angle little changes, that's create a problem. Okay, so don't push yourself too hard. All right. So now bring your hands behind your feet, hip distance apart. Inhale, pull your hands back, chest open. Then exhale, bend your knees like a coming to chair pose. Then bend forward, then head down. Inhale, pull your hands back and up. Then on your exhalation, we're gonna let go, drop. Inhale, ground your feet, round your back, tuck your navel towards the spine, roll ourselves up. So think of this way. So body position or formation keep changing, but keep our ground steady. So interlace your fingers. We're gonna do one more time. Inhale, pull your hands back and chest open. Then on your exhalation, pull your hips back like a chair pose. Then bend forward, head down. Inhale, pull your hands back, opening the shoulder. Then on your exhalation, drop your hands, let go. Inhale, roll yourself up to stand. Ground your feet. Notice how strong your leg is. Navel in. And then exhale, roll your shoulder back and down. Wonderful. So let's come onto the back. Come onto the mat and on the back. So get the block belt close by, and first we're gonna use the block. So block under your buttock and legs up. Now you can just gently shake your leg if you like. Maybe you don't need to stretch your leg. And then circle your ankles. So it's quite a lot of freedom here. So however you feel good. Maybe you can legs open and close if you like. Or maybe you can just stay here, resting your lower back. And then your sacrum on the mat. And the hips up. And relax the leg. Maybe legs fall over to your body. Or let it be however you want to. One more breath. Okay. Then slowly we're gonna release it, bend your knees and plant your feet down to the mat. So having a block under your butt, under your sacrum or buttock, but you can adjust it. So you may be staying here, relax your arm by your side, or maybe a little bit higher heights of the block. So purpose here is to stretch the front of the body, and especially the thigh. So maybe if you like, you may straight or move your heels a little bit to the back. So it's a hyperextending the lower back a little bit, but notice you can shift your weight a little bit, and maybe it's not too exaggerating. And stretch the front of your thighs. You can also keep fronting the feet down. Then lengthen, and maybe move your shoulder a little bit to over the towards the head to lengthen the lower back, not to hyperextend it. One more breath. Okay, then we're gonna come down to the mat. So take it easy, slowly, hips up, then block away. Then your lower back come to the mat. Then a happy baby. Open the legs wide, bend your knees, then grab your feet and gently roll side to side. Then notice how you can lengthen the spine, lengthen the neck to rest your upper body to the ground. So more body part touching to the ground, we are comfortably relaxed. The more steady and more easily we can balance our body. All right. So we're gonna use the belt now. It's a hammock pose. So make a big loop with the belt and connect your right foot and your head. So making a big loop. And then when you are ready, just to be there, hammock pose. The back of your head, the belt goes to the back of your head and your right foot. So that's a great thing, this pose. Then shoulder relax and drop down to the mat. So it's a good to stretch the neck, back of the neck, and shoulders and spine. Also the upper leg in the air, with the belt. Good stretch to the calf, hamstring. The left leg down on the mat. That left leg have a good stretch of the hip flexor front of your left hip joint. And notice your body breathing. The breath, each inhalation, what happens to your body. And each exhalation, what changes to your body. One more breath. Then gradually bend your right knee. Let go your only head. Then lift your head to the ground and hold the belt with your right hand. And inhale. Open your right leg out. So go gradually. So now we are stretching the inner leg. Maybe your leg can rest on a block if you have a block handy. Then come back to center. Then bend your right knee and twist. So right leg goes to the left side. And spread your right hand out to the right side. And open. Maybe tuck your navel in, so that's give you nice length to the lower back. And then come to center. Let's switch to the other way, left foot and head. And lean back, lie down. So let gravity take you. Okay. So it's a hammock pose, right? Then gradually release the head, holding the belt. Then let your head down to the mat. And then externally rotate your left leg out and feel the openness to your inner leg. Then ground your right leg so you don't fall down to the left side. Then come back to center and let's twist. Bend your left knee to the right side. You can always use the block to rest your knees. Then try to lengthen the lower back. So that means maybe belly in, then moving your left knee towards the chest. Let's give you length to the left side of the lower back. Then left arm spread wide. Then release it and come to center, Shavasana. Lie down to the mat. So if your lower back is not so comfortable, you can plant your feet down and make sure your lower back is rested well, not too floating up. And close your eyes. Let your body rest and soften. And feel the gravity on your back. And sink down to the earth. And let go all the tension. And let go all those core muscle that we worked on today. So let's release that. So the grounding energy or earth element. So when we let go the tension and the feeling of gravity. So those earth element is a recyclable energy flow. So we send the energy down. Now that energy comes back to our body in a more refreshed way. So all the unwanted or the feel the purpose, but no more needed, so we can let go. Let go to the ground. So as the leaf of the tree just dropping down to the ground, then that leaf become the soil of the part of the soil that's supporting that tree to grow for the next season. So that's kind of a cycle of life, that energy. So unwanted become the nutrients of the next stage. Gently bring your awareness to your feet and toes and the fingers, and bring some movement. And then reach your hands over the head. Let's stretch from toes to fingertips. Take a big inhale, stretch. 4, 3, 2, 1. Open your mouth, exhale. Bring your knee to the chest. Give a nice hug to yourself. Thanks to your body and mind. And hold on to the side, right side. And then gradually coming up to a comfortable seat, eyes closed. And notice the ground. Notice how your pelvis is supported with all those muscles, and how the spine is supported by the pelvis. And nicely aligned. Let's take a big inhale together. Hands reach to the sky, gathering all the happiness, peace, and hope seal to your heart. Exhale, bring your palms together to heart center. May this yoga practice benefit you and all beings. And may all beings be happy and free from suffering. Thank you very much for letting me guide us through your practice and sharing your time together. Namaste.